Hey guys, today I want to talk about a very touchy subject. It's a subject that most people don't want to talk about. It's not COVID, so don't worry about it. But you know something? It's something that's just as contagious as COVID over here in the Philippines. 9 out of 10 children in the Philippines, from what I read from an article, says 9 out of 10 kids have had worms or have worms in the Philippines. Worms. Like as in, like what your dog has, a parasite, okay? Adults over here, I'm not sure what it is for adults over here, but it's pretty prevalent. You start noticing yourself that you have itches in strange places, you know where I'm talking about, and you also start noticing other things, your health and stuff might start falling apart, or you notice you have more gas or things like that. You might have worms. And also you have other issues too, stomach problems, intestinal problems, diarrhea, many other issues. So you may want to get yourself checked. And you may want to take the once a year anti-parasite pill so you can get rid of it. They tell you to take it once a year. It's one pill, you take it and it clears you out. Because here in the Philippines, if you have kids in the house, believe it or not, this can go airborne. You're saying, well, Steve, how can worms go airborne? How the heck can that happen? I read this online in this article. It says if somebody shakes out the sheets, let's say your kid's sheets or something, your kid has parasites, it puts all those little eggs in the air, and they're so light that they just fly around, you breathe them in, and then suddenly, guess who has parasites? You. So I want to talk about this. I know it's a gross subject. It's a very, very gross subject, but it's very relevant here because it's something that we don't really pay much attention to. But if you notice that you're getting sick more, you're getting diarrhea more, loose stools, whatever you want to call it, you might want to go to the doctor and say, hey doc, I think I got parasites. You may want to be checking your feces also. Now I know that all you guys are saying, geez, Steve, I never thought I'd hear you say that word on here before. Well, here I am, I'm saying it. And the reason why I want to say it on here is because it's so important over here. This isn't a fun topic that I really want to pull out of my hat and talk about, but I know how prevalent this thing is, how much this hits people over here because I've seen it. I've seen it firsthand over here, and it does affect people over here. It also makes the kids, stunts kids' growth. It can cause all kinds of issues. A bloated belly syndrome, things like that. It depends on the worms and how bad you have them. And there's different types. So you need to be aware of that too. But I mean, parasites are an issue anywhere in a third world country. In the United States, we have the same thing. It's just that people don't talk about it as much. And it's not as prevalent because most of our food is processed foods and it's got all kinds of stuff in it where it doesn't have worms in it. Over here, we're dealing with food that gets handled a lot. It's fresher foods, and you're actually more likely to get worms from because of the cleanliness issue in some spots. Because if you live in an area where it's squatters area or something, or you walk through an area and these people are putting their sheets out, even if they wash them, believe it or not, those eggs can still be in there. And when the wind blows through that sheet or whatever, it can spread in the air and you can breathe those in. That's airborne. So the eggs from the worms you would get. Now, I read about this online quite a lot, so a lot of you guys are going to say, Steve, that's not true. You don't know what you're talking about. No, I've read about it, and I've studied this a little bit. I've researched this. And if you look, they can go airborne. So be careful, guys. It's not only COVID out there, it's also this here. So you know, I know it's a rotten subject to talk about. I get it. But if you see how many people probably have this here, and when you think that 9 out of 10 children have this, and if you live with children in the house, don't think that those kids don't have it because you live in a clean house. You know, if they sleep over somebody's house or they go over somebody's house and eat their food, it could happen. It could happen. It could happen to you. It could happen to your wife. Could happen to anybody in your family that this could happen to you. So what I'm just trying to say here is this. Be extra careful, guys. Over here, third world country, third world issues. So, and some people say, well, see, this isn't a third world country. It really is. I know they call it a developing nation, but you know, any country where there's poverty, like here in the Philippines, is going to have worms, parasites, things like that. It's not because they're dirty. That's not what it is. It's because of the heat, the humidity. It does have somewhat to do with cleanliness issues, but it really doesn't, because even if they wash their sheets, these things can stay on the sheets and blow around. It doesn't mean that they didn't clean the sheet good enough. It means that they just kind of stick to it. It's just the way that it works. So be careful, guys. Be aware of your surroundings. And, you know, remember, it's only one pill away from getting rid of parasites. You may want to do it just for your own health. Once a year, ask your doctor for an anti-parasitic pill. Take that to get rid of any worms or anything that you might have in your system, and boom. And then afterwards, eat some yogurt or something to get your health back. Some really good yogurt. And usually that'll help you. Anyway, guys, God bless. Take care.